If you're a scientist or an inventor in a video game, watch your back. Chances are you will die at the hands of your creation or at the giant rusty drill arm of your creation. Why did you even give it one of those? Video games love these ironic twists of fate. Sometimes it's an unlucky break for a well-meaning genius, sometimes it's a lethal dose of comeuppance for a hubristic boffin. Either way, these 7 suckers were killed by their own creations in a manner more ironic than rain on your wedding day. We will be spoiling several games in the video ahead, but nothing newer than 2013.
You've saved me. I was afraid I'd be trapped in there forever. It's so good to see you, but what are you doing here?
Your father, James, in Fallout 3 is a pretty smart guy. He's got medical skills, he's got BB gun repairing skills, he's got party throwing skills.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
He does need to work on his not getting trapped in the body of a virtual reality dog skills, mind you. Anyway, barring that excellent Liam Neeson impression, his finest work is an invention designed to purify all of the water in the Washington DC tidal basin. This is a plan that is foolproof, except when those fools from the Enclave turn up to mess it up.
I suggest you comply immediately, sir, in order to prevent any more incidents. Are we clear?
But it's fine, one of the byproducts of the water cleansing process is some really filthy radiation. James sabotages his invention and floods the room with a lethal dose.
Run. Run!
And this from an invention he called Project Purity. You can add your own sarcastic air quotes.
Who is ready to make some science?
I
am. Now, you already met one another on the limo ride over, so let me introduce myself. I'm Cave Johnson. I own the place.
It would have been best to keep Portal 2 bossman Cave Johnson away from all the science at Aperture.
I'll be honest, we're throwing science at the wall here to see what sticks.
Still, lesson for trying. Cave's bright idea was to grind up moon rocks and use the resultant dust to create conversion gel, which allows portals to be opened on any surface. The only drawback is, well, we'll let the man himself explain.
And guess what? Ground up moon rocks are pure poison. I am deathly ill.
10 points for ambition, minus 8,000 points for scientific rigor.
All right, I've been thinking. When life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Make life take the lemons back.
The Wesker children were entrusted with endless potential. Of them, only one survived.
Umbrella employees so routinely fall foul of their own mutagenic research, we can only assume that Umbrella Health Insurance refuses to cover you for putting T-virus in your coffee by accident and turning into a giant veiny eyeball. Wesker gets killed by the tyrant he releases in Resident Evil.
It's magnificent.
Then, having learned nothing, Carter gets killed by the tyrant he releases in Resident Evil Outbreak File 2. And guess what happens to Vincent Goldman after he releases a tyrant in Resident Evil Survivor?
Now, you're going to pay!
No! Correct! Congratulations, you are smarter than an Umbrella employee. The ironic murders come full circle when Umbrella President Oswell E. Spencer is killed by Wesker, who Spencer engineered to be the first of an advanced race of unfeeling superhumans.
Ironic, isn't it?
Yes, yes it is.
Just walked in the door and already presenting.
To suggest that Dead Rising 3 boss Dylan Fuentes invented the flamethrower would be misleading and wrong.
And I'm going to be one angry daddy.
But he does put his own unique spin on the concept. His Lust Cannon is the first penis-shaped flamethrower we can recall seeing, and we're pretty sure that's not an off-the-shelf design, even if he does live out the back of a sex shop. It's even got a secondary tank that fires ice.
You gave me blue balls, you tease.
He should have spent less time on kinky engineering and cavorting around and more time checking the seals on his flamethrower, because after you beat him, he dies from the noxious gases that escape from the flamethrower. Brings whole new meaning to the term fire down below. Sorry.
She was a very disturbed child.
Harlan Wade, the science bigwig from f.e.a.r's Armacam Technology Corporation, was a man who deserved to be melted by a telepath, and then was melted by a telepath. This is the guy who tortured an infant to harness her terrible psychic powers, then put her in a coma so he could later impregnate her with a psychic fetus so he could create, who knows, some kind of telepathic super soldier?
She was 15 when the first prototype was born. She was supposed to be comatose, but she started screaming when we induced labor and didn't stop until the liquid filled her lungs.
Did I mention he was her father? Might be time to stop using that world's best dad mug.
Alma, you were to be my legacy.
It would be more surprising if resultant psychic witch monster Alma Wade didn't kill him with her mind powers. In Harlan's own pre-liquefaction words,
"It is the way of men to make monsters, and it is the nature of monsters to destroy their makers."
how about don't make monsters? I've got a whole week without making a monster.
Heads.
Or tails.
Heads. Told you. I never find that as satisfying as I'd imagined.
Chin up, there's always next time.
I suppose there is.
Prim quantum physicist Rosalind Lutece is one of video gaming's great inventors and scientists. She figured out how to levitate an entire city, communicate between alternate realities using entangled atoms, and open up portals to those realities called tears. That's where her twin brother, Robert Lutece, comes from. Unfortunately, at the behest of Zachary Comstock, Jeremiah Fink sabotaged their invention, causing an explosion and their official death, which was declared on Halloween 1909.
But you two are dead. I took your funeral photo.
Yes, I made an absolute hash of it.
Spooky. A funeral was held, but rather than being dead in the conventional sense, they now live outside of time, like sort of quantum ghosts. They can even be found larking around on their own graves. Oh, you too.
Why do you ask what?
When the delicious question is when.
The only difference between past and present
Is semantics.
You could argue that, being outside of space and time, they're not really properly dead, but you try arguing that with Lady Comstock. Now, I'm no doctor.
Elizabeth, why is your mother a ghost?
Get away. Maybe if I modify the genetic sequence to... Sure.
Dr. Yi Su-shong from the original Bioshock suffers one of the most ironic deaths in video gaming.
Did you talk to your puppy? She's very pretty.
Thank you, Papa Su-shong.
Su-shong created Rapture's Big Daddies, you know, the homicidal monsters in diving suits with the giant drill arm. More importantly, it was also Su-shong's job to psychologically condition the Big Daddies to protect the little sisters. But wouldn't you know it, on the exact day that Su-shong actually solved the problem of the protection bond he didn't think he had, and in his frustration lashed out at a little sister. Oh no, who could have foreseen this ironic twist? The only way his death could have been more ironic would have been if it was actually his father in there.
Those were 7 suckers killed by their own creations in a way more ironic than 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife. Give us your own favourite ironic fates in the comments, like it if you liked it, and thanks for watching.